What's up, ladies and gentlemen? BlueRidgeSilverhound here at you to talk about photos. Yeah, how to take some pretty gosh darn good photos so that way you can sell coins online. All right, one of the biggest, outlets for selling coins is eBay. But you could also make the argument that Facebook Marketplace has certainly been another great outlet for folks that dive into social media. Is again another fantastic place to sell coins. Now, why is photographic images important in a listing? Well, it kind of tells the whole story, right? If you were to place something online, which you used to do on eBay, you actually used to have the ability, probably, it's been a while, probably 12, 13, 14 years ago. It was very early on in eBay's days, but it used to be that you can list an item for sale and not have any pictures whatsoever on there. And you could still sell it. People are selling brand new product because why would you want to show off that product, right? Things have changed. eBay now requires at least one photo on every single listing. And that's important. And it's that important that they're actually enabling photographic images for free if you're a seller, which is nice, you know, and then they'll give you that promotion up to a certain amount of listings, I think 100 or 200, depending on how much business you do with them. But we're going to use eBay as kind of an example of showcasing some coins that probably could have benefited with a little bit extra dedication, a little extra care when prepping the photos for the listings. I mean, you know, there are some coins that just sell really well. You know, 1919 Gem BU Lincoln Cent sold for $125. Seems like it's a really good sale. You know, but take a look at the image. The coin is front and center. Yeah, you guys know my stance on taking pictures in these cardboard 2x2 holders. I don't recommend them, even if you threw in some extra like advertisement like this seller did. You know, sometimes it can work for you, sometimes it can work against you. It really depends on the coin. And most importantly, when you go to click into a listing, you know, just to kind of check things out, you need to have the ability to get in close to that image. So when you hover over the picture and you see this click to enlarge feature down here, well, furthermore, before I even click into it, you could actually see a blow up of the actual coin here on the right. And as long as you're able to get in close where you could see the surfaces of the coin, that's important. You want to make sure you're buying a coin that's not been cleaned. Okay, clean coins command a much deeper discount because it's a problem coin at that point. So, you know, the seller did a really good job taking full images of not only the obverse of the coin, but the reverse as well. This guy's been around the block for a while, as you can see with his 5-figure feedback rating. You know, he's a good seller and one that you could trust. So $125 for that one. That seems like a really solid sale. But when we go back and take a look at some of the other ones where you could look and say, yeah, you know, they could have done a little bit better job managing the photos, like this one right here. You know, if you have to look through a telescope tube to be able to look close at this picture of the coin, then, you know, you might need some extra modifications done. 1997p error off center Roosevelt dime 10-cent piece. Without me clicking into it, I really am not interested in the coin. Now, I'm not interested because I feel like the coin is beneath me or it's not part of my collection or my direction. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the people that have taken the time to fine-tune their photographic images, you know, they're going to want the most amount of money for their coin. All right. And then it's justifiable because they've put the work in to produce a listing with great photographic images. Here's another good one, 2021D Lincoln Penny Cent DDO, DDR. Again, you know, we're focusing on photographic images, but my overall problem with this particular coin is that it does not specify a Wechsler attribution number for this particular coin? Does one even exist, or are we simply blowing smoke up the collective buyers' hoo-haws at this point? We really don't know. All right, so yeah, listing titles and all that great stuff, that's a conversation for another time. But the picture seems to be pretty decent. All right, you got a nice close-up image. I mean, if you're pitching that it is a doubled die coin, you obviously want to get in as close as you can and well-focused close-ups of the main attribution areas for that double die. It could be the word liberty, it could be the motto, it could be the date. You know, it's really bringing much more attention to the coin when you're able to produce some high-quality close-ups. Here's another one right here where we have a lot of 4 of these brand new 2021 Washington Quarter crown die chips, and they're like earlier progression state type of coins. A lot of 4 sold for $14. That seems like a pretty good amount of money, but based off of what I'm seeing here on the picture, one thing I could tell you for sure is that the coins were probably taken in a much darker room than necessary. There was one light source, as you can see, pointed at my face, where you have a lot of glare. So there's a couple coins on this particular listing right here, specifically the top right coin, that has a little bit too much light on it. And then the coins on the left-hand side, these 2 right here, don't have enough. But somehow, some way, the coin here on the bottom right looks perfect. All right, so we need just a happy medium. I think if there are 2 different light sources coming from each side to give it just the right amount of lighting on each coin. And again, play around with the lighting. I don't like to do direct lighting onto a coin. Generally, I'll bounce it off the wall and have that light just hit the coins in that way. So that way you don't get that glare, that white balance issue that a lot of people have when they're trying to photograph coins. Slab coins, this one's perfectly fine. I mean, it's a complete image cropped to the size of the slab. That's textbook. Here's the 43S Mercury dime, full bonds. I'm willing to bet they meant full bands in this particular case. This one has a die crack error. So, you know, we're looking at a bunch of error coins on completed listings on eBay. What you want to do is get in very close as you can to the spot that you want to highlight. In this case, if you're pushing this coin because of a die crack, how minor or insignificant or how major it is, you want to be able to get in close to that and use that as your main picture for your coin. This one right here, $1.75, which is actually cheaper than what a 90% silver dime goes for. I think it's what, $2.30 or something to that effect. And then $4 shipping. I mean, you're not selling it for anything additional. You didn't garner any premium as a result of what I feel like is pretty bad pictures, because the coin is not only so far away, but it doesn't highlight the real reason why you're trying to sell it. You know, and then, you know, there's currency. I mean, this is fine right here. You're selling a lot of them, so just stagger them so that way you can see the labels of each one. And then you have one main photo of the note at the bottom is fine. This is a textbook coin right here, listing. 98D off-center broad struck, Lincoln Memorial cent. Memorial spelled not traditionally. But this coin with shipping sold for $8.25. It's a really minor error, which I think is worth a couple bucks. This one got $3.50 plus shipping. I hope that person is sending it out in a bubble mailer for that amount of money. But this is the perfect picture. It's cropped, you know, within really close to the coin's edge, which is important, and it's not turned or skewed like a three-quarter angle, like this quarter right here. That this is just a bad example of really well, it's a really bad coin, first of all, but it's not that great of an example of a photo you should use to sell your eBay listings. So try and eliminate having to take a picture of the coin at an angle, all right, and then do straight on. you're going to have a much better natural look to the presentation than, say, if you did a 3/4 angle picture, which I never recommend. If that were a problem, more than likely it's a lighting issue. I think this person right here took this picture because they were having issues with the reflectivity, because it's a proof coin. And there are ways around that. I actually have a great example of one that I'm going to show you guys. Hey, bonus ball. I'm going to show you guys how I prep my photos after I've taken pictures. And I'm using my smartphone for this. About 99% of my listings on eBay have been done with my device. Okay, so, I mean, if you're in pictures, like you see here, you see my mug. Remember, you don't have to get in too close to the subject that you're trying to take, because when you do that, you lose focus. But rather, you play around off of a suitable amount of length from the lens to your subject, and just simply blow it in. There you go. You could see the nose hairs coming out right there. But you use that, you snap your picture, then you could use editing software. There's a lot of free editing software on your device, aside from what is on here. Now, I have an Apple device, but the same can be said also for any Android device as well. You could blow it up, zoom in, take the picture, send it off, do whatever you need to do. You have eBay app right on your phone. It makes it easy. Plus, it's also going to ensure that you're able to take good quality photos on a device like this, and not have to worry about spending just boatloads of money for camera equipment and elaborate lighting displays and all that. You could take high quality images with your smartphone, and you can even go back as far as like the iPhone 6, which I've done a lot of great photos with. It takes pretty good quality photos. I mean, that's many eons ago. And then, the Galaxy, like S8 or whatever it is. You could go back multiple generations and still have a decent device to take pictures with. And most important is, see this lens right here? Make sure you clean it. That's one of my things that when I see images online and they're all fuzzy, yeah, that's a dirty lens for sure. But based off of what I'm seeing right here, there are a lot of really nice pictures. This one's close, however, it wasn't cropped properly. You don't have really a full obverse image. I know I'm kind of splitting hairs because it's just a sliver, but if you're expecting big money, take big money pictures. Here's a couple really fantastic images here, where we have blown up the image to the part that is most interesting about the coin, and then that's going to be your main sell point on those. All right, but just look up and down. If you need inspiration, go on eBay, take a look and see what the most successful sellers are doing to make more money. And it's things like these, among a few other things, cross-promoting on social media, on coin forums and things of that nature. But you take good pictures, they're not too dark and they're not out of focus, then you guys are going to be in pretty good shape. All right, so you could see that some of the most successful listings have premium photos. 5.53 grams, 96/4. Interesting. Although it doesn't look too good right there, the picture-wise. But yeah, some pretty good stuff. A lot of interesting photos that you'll come across as you're trying to fine-tune things. I mean, this is a poor example right here of something that you should use as your main photo. First of all, it's still in the little plastic container thing, and you need to take it out of there. That's coin photography 101. Do not photograph anything where you could take the coin out of the packaging. Now, in a graded slab, you can't do that, obviously. But yeah, definitely take it out of there. It'll eliminate a lot of glare. You'll get a much better picture. This one right here, I would add a little bit more light. It's a little bit dark. This one here, crop it close to the edge. All right. So, you know, those are a few listings that we looked at. So this is a free photo editing software that I downloaded online, and I've used it for about 9 years now, and I love it. And it's basic, but there are two different versions of a program called Photoscape that you could download onto your PC. And this is the regular Photoscape, and it has all of the functions down here for cropping and doing various different types of enhancements and all that stuff. But these are actually photos that I have taken with my smartphone device. So it gives you an overall kind of look at the quality that you can expect. Another thing to keep in mind when you're taking photos is to do contrasting yet complementary backgrounds to your coin. So any coin that is lighter or emits, you know, a great deal of luster and all that stuff, you probably want to use a darker background. Whereas if you're trying to take pictures of, say, an old, well-circulated large cent, you probably want to use a background that's a little bit lighter. So we'll actually see a few examples here. But this Lincoln Cent 1963D, first thing that we are going to do is you can either crop it one of two ways. And I'll show you both so that way you guys can see. What I like to do is to crop just a round image of the coin, so that way you eliminate all of the background, and that's what that looks like. All right, so that's one way of doing it. This is what I like to do when I'm going to pair up two coins, and I'll show you that combined feature on Photoscape. But you could crop it like this. So we'll undo it, and I'll show you the square crop. This one you're just gonna have to eyeball it a little bit. But you see how I'm cropping close to the edge of the coin, but it's not all the way to the edge. The only thing that you're going to have with this particular crop job is you're going to have this cast shadow, which lets you guys know that the light is coming from this direction right here. You guys see my mouse pointer. So, I mean, this is another good way of cropping this coin as well. You know, however which way you want to do it will be perfectly fine for a lot of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this one. And we also have a back image too. I'll do the same crop job here as well. Then I'll show you how to combine them. And then that'd be the picture that you could use for your eBay listing. Because if you could put together a combined set of photos for your coins, where you have the obverse and the reverse of the coin in full display, even before you click into the listing, that's going to be appealing to the customer. All right, so we have our first coin all cropped up. Let's go ahead and do our second one. We have this one here, 1978 broad struck Washington quarter. This is another coin I pulled out and took pictures with my smartphone. And we're going to actually do another square crop on this one. So we'll do this. See, pretty easy. We'll go ahead and save it. Save it under the same name. And we're going to do a square crop on the reverse as well. Get that all buttoned down. The real reason why I'm doing a square crop on this coin is that it has an irregular shape. It's not a completely perfect circle like the Lincoln Cent that we saw before it. And, you know, that's when you try and use the crop round image, it's actually going to cut off a little bit of the coin, and you don't want to do that. So you just have to play around with it and choose the best cropping method for the coin that you have. All right, so here's a coin that was photographed on a different background, okay? But however, here's another extra twist to this one. This one is in a coin holder, a plastic coin holder, in which the coin came in from the Perth Mint. So what we want to do is keep it in the holder, and on this particular example, we're just going to do a round crop. Just to let you know, this is the type of coin, because it's got a little bit of a proof enhanced finish on there. This is the type of coin where you don't want the light to completely flood onto the coin. I actually bounced it off the wall and have it come back onto the coin. And that serves two purposes. Because this is in a plastic holder, you're not going to get this glare spot. See how light this glare is right here? It's virtually non-existent, number one. Number two, because it's in a plastic holder, if you flood the light directly onto the coin, it's actually going to wash out you're going to get a glare spot, and it's going to wash out all of the subtle details on the coin. Like you see all these little engravings and stuff in the background behind this Greek god. So we're going to do a round crop for this one. We want to eliminate a lot of this like wood background to it. So we're going to crop it all the way up to the edge of the plastic holder the best that we can. There you go. So that's your first image right there. And then something like this, what I like to do sometimes is to maybe brighten it just a shade. And then do a little bit of contrast enhancement. It might be too much. So if we went back, again, you guys are going to have to play around with this. That one came out a little bit too washed out. There, that's much better. You're able to see the horse and all that stuff in the background here a lot better than if you didn't do the contrast enhancement. So we're going to go ahead and save that. And then you'll want to also do that as well for the other side. So you want to crop it all the way up to the edge of the plastic holder, in addition to doing the contrast enhancement as well. Boom. I do a high level, but you could continuously add levels to it and layers. So you got a little bit of that enhanced frosty kind of luster on there, which is pretty cool. People love to see that sort of thing. So we're going to save this. Alright, and then we're going to go into the combine feature function. And we are actually going to combine our images. So what I want to do with images is we're going to do the main obverse, or whatever the main side of the coin is, on the left, and on the right we're going to do the reverse. In this case, this is how I presented this one right here. So we'll go ahead and save this image as a tiled image, a side by side, which that had the save button is right here on the top right corner. So we'll delete these out. And I'm doing this so that way you guys can see what these look like. Here's the quarter. Click and drag them together. And you could do down. You could do checker as well. You could add in additional coins. You could do 4 up, 6 up, 8 up, however you want to do it. The side-by-side's perfect, but that's what that looks like. Go ahead and upload it into your eBay listing and then roll with it. And it looks good. You don't need to do anything additional. It tells the whole story. It's an uncentered broad stroke 78 quarter. It looks to be in really good shape. You know, there's no dings or scratches or anything like that on this coin. It is a fantastic looking example. And then finally, that Lincoln cent, this is what this one would look like. Cropped, square cropped, combined into one master image, and then there you go. Go ahead and roll with that. Cancel that. All right, and then, yeah, you would go ahead and save it, and then you would go back into the editor function, and you would play around with it. You know, maybe you would add text, you know, at the bottom, so that way, you know, if you want to put the date and whatever, or if it has like a DDO or an RPM, you'll put the attribution number, like, you know, right here at the bottom. I like to do that without overlapping onto the coin edge. So, you know, it's a good clean presentation, but that's how you do really good photos for eBay. It was a lot of fun to show you guys how this works. Again, it's called Photoscape. There's a Photoscape X, which has a lot more functions and all that great stuff. I actually have both and use both. But this is a fantastic program for you guys to use. It's free. You know, photo editing software doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. You could get the Photoscape software. By the way, I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that. I just really love using the program for doing quick edits. It won't do things like PNG conversions or any of that stuff. So you're going to have to use a completely different program for something like that. So that's it. That was a lot of fun to talk about. You know, I do have another video. I'll see if I could find it, that I did probably 3-4 years ago, about how to take photos with your smartphone. As a matter of fact, if you wanted to, you know, jump on YouTube and type in, or just go into my video feed and just type in under the search, taking photos with smartphone, and it'll show you, it's probably the top one. It gets a lot of views, and it's a very, very useful video if you're looking to fine-tune your photographic skills. As you can see, I'm not working with thousands of dollars in equipment when I'm doing this, so it can be as easy as just using your smartphone. Remember, a few tips: make sure everything's cleaned off, that lens is cleaned before you take pictures. Don't get in close to the subject with the camera. Take a step back, make sure you have a clear, very nice focused image, and just simply blow in by doing this on the screen, whatever you call that, swiping your fingers away so that way it blows up and zooms in to your subject. And that's it. It couldn't be easier than that. So that is how to take photos 101 again, or maybe this is 102. I'm not sure. But hopefully you guys had fun. You guys learned a thing or two. I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound. As always, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. You guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy your week, and I'll see you on the next coin video. So long.